hard for that one bicep. And the only thing that we pushed back on with the publisher was to put the bicep back in there. We will all have to be friends on social. I will send you the Photoshop copy where they took away my bicep, not added. It's super, super weird. But I wanted to share that story with you. This dish of tuna and toast starts, oddly enough, or maybe appropriately enough, with some toast, right? Jones got in a little trouble backstage because the toast wasn't toasted enough, because every once in a while, I still become a chef. It's very rare, but every once in a while, I still become a chef. We want to toast our bread. We want it to be crunchy, of course, but what's happening when we toast bread is something that's called the Maillard reaction. That's about as dorky as I'm going to get tonight. The Maillard reaction is the browning of proteins. It's what literally makes a steak on the grill taste better than a steak that hasn't been cooked on the grill, or what makes toast taste better than bread. The browning of the proteins that in this case are inside of the flour. So we have this toast, and then of course we need the tuna and the veal part of it, right? So we're going to start with the veal part of it. And this is one of my favorite recipes because to some people it probably sounds really disgusting. This is veal mayonnaise.
Yummy.
Thank you for faking that. No? Okay. It was kind of like a, oh, I'm going to say I like it, whatever it is, and then I said it, and you're like, oh, yummy. But again, to tell us now, usually there's tuna and veal in some sort of combination, and what we've done here is we've braised some veal. We've made some like Carnitas of veal, and then we've made it into a mayonnaise. So some egg yolks and some olive oil. But because I live in California right now, and because we're in Texas, I think this works well. We added one of my other favorite ingredients to it, which is avocados. I don't have one in front of me, but you've seen them before. You've seen them before. Avocados. So this dish is usually mostly mayonnaise, but because you know I'm trying to become a health and fitness lifestyle blogger, right, Will?
That's right.
I've added lots of avocado in this dish. So, Jones, you're going to make this while I get into the next step. We're going to layer this toast with some of this veal sauce. And then for the tuna part of it, we're going to use some tuna tartare, right? So some raw tuna. This is going to create all of these amazing textural contrasts, right? We have this hot bread, we have this smooth, luscious texture of the veal avocado sauce, and now we have some of this tuna tartare that's going to be cold and sort of fleshy. That's a cool word. Fleshy doesn't work in a lot of spaces, but it works tonight, okay? Fleshy. We're going to season our tartare with a little bit of shallots and some cornichons, which is a super pretentious way of saying sweet pickles. Can we just call them sweet pickles? Like, chefs are just too much. It's sauce meunière. No, it's not. It's burnt butter, okay? Just call it what it is. All right, so cornichons are going to add some acidity. We're going to add a little bit of chopped dill, because chopped dill is my favorite herb. That's just a little Richard Blais trivia tip right there for you. I love dill, especially with seafood. Dill to me is like the Jackie O of herbs. It's just like very classy. It's like, you know, a white dress and a pearl neck. It's just very classy. Here we go. We have dill in there. We're going to add a little bit of really, really great olive oil. You might notice that I'm adding my olive oil from way up here because it's a better Instagram photo for you. Okay? I'm just saying. Yeah, you got it right there. Are you doing the whole live video thing?
Yes.
Okay, now I have to know that this is being broadcast live on YouTube. No worries. We'll be careful what we say about my friends now. And then we're going to season with a little bit of acidity at the end, some lemon juice. Right? Anytime we're doing like really anything that has acidity, we want to do it at the end, especially with a raw dish, so it doesn't really cook the tuna, turn it into a ceviche. And now we're going to plate this tuna toast. What else is going on in this dish, Jones? I get quiet when I plate for some reason. I don't know why. It's the only time I'm quiet. My wife thinks I should plate a lot more often. That was a new joke. That was a new one. Very like classic. Very like any younger, but it works. Okay, there we go. A little bit of tuna. It actually looks beautiful, Jones. Good job. Not that you don't do beautiful work all of the time. We're going to finish this dish with another one of my favorite sort of techniques. It sounds really fancy. This is mustard seed caviar. You guys are a good crowd. You picked up that cue. You picked up that cue. I like it. I like it. You're coming on the road with me.
Yes.
Okay. What?
Yes.
Here we go. You the guy with the biceps. Just to be clear. All right. Here we go. A little bit of mustard seed caviar. So mustard seed caviar sounds really fancy. It sounds molecular. It sounds sciencey. It's really just mustard seeds that I've marinated in pickling juice, so vinegar and salt, right? And they sort of plump and they really look like caviar. And the sugar and vinegar actually makes them almost slimy like caviar. So it's kind of one of these fun techniques that people think is really scientific, but it's not. It's more just observational. One of the things that we do with the mustard seeds to pickle them very quick. If you all find yourself in a quick fire challenge next week, which some of you might, who knows what Ferguson's got planned? You don't know what's happening. Next year when we do this again, you're doing the cooking, and I'm judging, okay? And you have to make pickled mustard seeds really, really quickly. I make them in this tool right here, right? So this is called a siphon or a cream charger, if you will. You see this at the coffee shop when you get your whipped cream on your milkshakes, right? And what we do is we put the mustard seeds in here, and because it's a vacuum environment, it expedites the process of things being pickled. So you gotta pickle things in like 10 minutes because Jones wasn't prepared. You just bust this out and you make pickles in here, or if you're on a show like Top Chef and you only have 20 minutes, this is what you do. So a lot of my, yes, question?
Is that how you pickle raisins on one of your menu items when I...
Oh my gosh. Are you just bragging?
That's right.
That's all right. It works. I don't know the dish you're talking about, but this is a technique to do.
One of your salads.
Yeah.
I've never heard of pickled raisins.
This is exactly how we do it. I don't know. But this is one way to do it. This is a good way to do it. You can do it also traditionally. You can do it traditionally, but this is a nice way to do it, and a nice way to do it fast. All right, so the last element of this dish is going to be some wild nasturtium.
Oh, no, it's all right.
What? No. This is not the last element of this dish. Scarlett Jones has reminded me very quietly that we have one more element to this dish. We're going to reveal one of Richard Blais's favorite ingredients of all time. Does anyone know what it is?
Asparagus.
It's not asparagus, but because you sent this, you get this asparagus. It's actually part of the showroom. You got to give it back.
I work here Sunday.
Oh, there you go. Liquid nitrogen. Someone yelled out liquid nitrogen. Jones, where's the liquid nitrogen? We do not travel with liquid nitrogen often, but when we do, it means someone's paid us to do it. And this is liquid nitrogen right here. A Ferguson first. Is this a first for the showroom?
Oh yeah.
Yes. I am going to be on tour with Ferguson all spring and into the fall, I think, right? But I'm already working on trying to get someone to do the Ferguson cryotherapy shower. We're going to make this happen. Someone's already stole my idea and got a patent on it. This is one of my favorite ingredients. It's liquid nitrogen. These are good Instagram photos as well. Especially when I do that. Okay. It's minus 360 something degrees Fahrenheit. Really, really, really cold. Some of you are a little bit more science-minded. You might know that I'm a degree or two off. All you need to know that it's really, really, really cold. Never do that. A couple tips with liquid nitrogen. Don't worry about the rug. It's going to be all right. A couple tips about liquid nitrogen. If you find yourself on the Today Show, right? Never pour liquid nitrogen on Kathy Lee's feet. Never do that. It's an automatic 3-year ban from the Today Show. I'm back now, everything's good, but I'm just saying, be mindful, okay? Never just touch it with your hand unless you're a trained professional like I am. Again, really what's happening here is the nitrogen is sort of like a candle. You run your hand over a candle, I leave my hand over the candle, I'm going to burn myself. I'm just sort of juggling the nitrogen. What is nitrogen? It's all around us. It's part of the atmosphere. This is a pressurized sort of version of it. Oh, you can see it dancing on the plate. That looks nice. Also, for those of you who don't have my first cookbook, Try This at Home, available on Amazon at a good price right now, $17.85. Not that I look every day. But if you don't have that book, I'll give you one of the recipes. The recipe is for my hair. And the recipe is very easy. It's equal parts liquid nitrogen and duck fat. That's it. Put it together. Boom. There you go. All right. So we're going to make one little garnish for our tuna toast. We're going to make these pearls. We do this a lot with oyster dishes. You may have had that oyster dish with the pickled raisins. And here, the oyster dish doesn't have the pickled raisins. But I'm just going with it. We're vibing. Here's some horseradish pearls. We put this on an oyster dish because what I'm doing is making pearls. You've probably seen this before in like the Astrodome. Yeah, give it up. This is something called Dippin' Dots. Ice cream of the future. invented 25 years ago, that went out of business 5 years ago. I'm bringing Dippin' Dots back! And we're only making them in really weird flavors like this one, which is horseradish. Trust me, horseradish is going to do a lot better than vanilla, okay? It's really not, it's really not. And what you can see right here is that I've made all of these pearls, right? So this is going to add another more, it's going to add more textural sort of contrast to this. And that's going to add another element to it. And the last thing we're going to do is some wild nasturtium that I harvested from your very own Richmond Avenue here on my walk to Ferguson. It grows everywhere. What's that?
Don't eat it.
Don't eat it? I'll put it on what's being served to you. It was next to a bottle of Caviar. Things that I saw on my walk. True story. But here we go, a little bit of nasturtium. This has got a nice peppery flavor to it. I'll be honest with you, I didn't harvest it on Richmond Avenue. But this does grow wild all around you. And I live in Southern California, and one of the things that I really love about there and everywhere is how much wild food that you can eat is literally growing in your yard. And this is one of them. Nasturtiums grow everywhere. They're wild, and it's a great stuff for like watercress. And again, as long as you clean them, if you're dog well in the yard or whatever, that's okay. But so, I'm also mentioning that I forage like this for a couple of reasons. If you find me like in your yard later tonight, like, is this one of those states like Florida? Like, should I be mindful? Like, if I'm in your yard foraging? Okay, yeah, I think it is, right? I'm just foraging for the nasturtium, okay? I don't want any trouble. Okay, here we go. That's our tuna toast. First dish done for you right there.